Deputy Assistant Reverend Tom this morning, and we are going to begin with Surely the Present, so please stand and sing.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and grace. I can feel angels wings, blessing glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Remain standing, and we will recite our mission statement. Together, we welcome all as we create loving community, teach universal truth, practice spiritual principles, and live life abundantly. And our vision prayer. Together, we acknowledge that the universe is safely guiding Unity of Dayton into the future. We release all resistance to change, letting go of what was and embracing the new. We believe that the harmonizing power of love is showing us the way to navigate transition. Together we walk in faith as we welcome what and who is to come with open minds and hearts. Together we are willing and we are ready now. Thank you, God, and so it is. Please be seated. Let's relax and settle in for just a moment of prayer. Centering my thoughts on God, I listen to the wisdom that comes to my heart and mind through the still, small voice of Spirit. I trust the guidance I receive and take action to do what is right. I am blessed with clarity and freedom from fear. I now move forward with confidence and strength, allowing the divine presence within to guide me. I open my heart and mind to new ideas and ways of proceeding as divine light illumines my path. Divine wisdom is my moment-to-moment compass, allowing me to see the way ahead. Even when I do not perceive it, I walk in expectant faith, for I trust that with each step, wisdom is my guide. In prayer, I open to divine wisdom, and so it is. Thank you, God. Okay. Now we're going to stand and sing again. I choose to see.
I choose to see the love in me. I choose to see the love in me. I choose to see the love in me. It's also called divinity. Choose to honor who I am. I choose to honor who I am. I choose to honor who I am. A part of Spirit's master plan. I choose to let my dreams come true.
freedom. The divine presence within guides me to freedom. At times, I may feel hemmed in by circumstances, limited by lack of opportunity, or faced with an unwelcome situation and no good choices. When that happens, I may feel anything but free. Rather than despair, I find my freedom in God and the limitless expression of my divinity. Shifting my perspective from the limits of the world to the expanses and perfection of spirit, peace fills me. I relax and remember that no earthly trouble is greater or more enduring than God. I claim the power of God and feel a strength beyond mere human strength. As moment by moment, I release limiting beliefs and reclaim the power I have given to my problems. Spirit lives in me and as me. The truth is my freedom. And from 2 Corinthians 3, verse 17, now the Lord is in the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And now we're going to stand and sing again. Do we have anybody joining us today for the very first time? I see any hands out there? No? All old friends who came to eat today. Well, I do want to welcome back again an old friend who's becoming an old friend. Reverend Tom Sylvester will be our guest speaker today. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
And now before Reverend Tom takes over the platform, our I always want to call them a team, a band at the same time, but our music team is going to perform a beautiful song for us.
Bring it on.
It's weird. Sorry, everybody. Sometimes you need to revision. Sorry.
Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through
music we have here. Thank you, everyone. That was very wonderful. Beautiful song. Well, today is a special service at Unity of Dayton. This first or second Sunday of January, every year, we have our Whitestone ceremony. The Whitestone ceremony is a Unity annual event. It is taking place at this time in nearly all of the Unity churches around the world. During meditation, take the white stone that I trust many of you have been given, and we write an aspiration or name for ourselves, which represents a new identity or new consciousness, which we perceive for ourselves in the coming year. The origin of the white stone comes from the book of Revelation, where it is said that those who overcome temptation will be given inner resources to sustain them, among them a white stone upon which is written a secret name that is given to those who persist. Emily Cady, a famous author of New Thought, Spiritual Writings, and author of Unity's foundational book, Lessons in Truth, she picked up this passage and incorporated it into her teachings on the secret place of the Most High. And the most important thing for her, and I believe for me as well, was the secret name which is revealed to those who dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, that dwelleth in the silence. Unity then combined these two teachings into lessons on overcoming, which is taught as an inner realization of victory over error states of consciousness. It's not an outer victory, it's an inner victory. This white stone is an ancient ritual. Back in the time when Jesus was teaching and someone served time in prison or bondage of any kind, they were given a white stone when they were released. Each of us comes from bondage today. The bondage of our error thinking. Bonding of not letting go of what does not serve us. Today, we are given a new stone. We're given a new opportunity. And this new stone signifies our freedom. Can't help but tell you the white stone ceremony is one of my absolute favorite services of the year. They're all favorite. But this white stone ceremony is my absolute favorite service. This is my 21st consecutive white stone ceremony. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I'm going to think it's an age and things for it. But I have brought with me all of the 20th prior on the podium here, and it is extraordinary to me what impact this white stone ceremony has become, and particularly as it raises my awareness going into the silence about my connection with divine mind, God, whatever you might want to call it, providing guidance for me in my spiritual growth and journey. Just briefly, I'll mention my very first Unity service was a white stone ceremony. It was January 5th, 2003. And I was having some difficulties in my life, let's just call them that. And I asked in meditation to my inner voice, what is missing? I'm doing everything right, and everything's going wrong. This doesn't make sense. And I listened, and I listened again, and I heard a still small voice within say, faith. And it caught me by surprise. I was raised early, and being Catholic, but then I had stopped that when I was 28. And I had always felt that some way, somehow, faith would be a remarkable, phenomenal power within my life. I just didn't know how it would unfold. And here at the Unity Church, I was given the word faith. And on a separate issue, but I will mention, I realized that I had been putting my faith in the legal system to bring my daughter home after she had been abducted. And I realized now it was my opportunity and my need to put my faith in God. And so I worked unceasingly, learning all of the Unity teachings about faith the entire year. And just to close that, just comment, the next year, so I asked for what's the word for next year. Faith was intriguing. I learned quite a bit. The next word I got was forgiveness. I immediately said to myself, you gotta be kidding me. Forgiveness, really? I mean, take back forgiveness. Give me 2 other words. I'll tell you, give me 3 words. Don't give me forgiveness and forgiveness now. But once we know that that's the word for us, I could not give it back. And so I worked a radical forgiveness ceremony for more than a month and had a radical breakthrough and actually forgave the person who took my wife or took my daughter out of the country. Something I thought I would never do. I'll end with this short version. I won't go through all 21, but this interestingly to me, the third was love, and more specifically, unconditional love. In September of that year, it came calling to me that I activate the power of surrender. And sure enough, the next year, my word was peace. And I give you these not to be so, I guess, personal about my stuff, but rather to provide some scope and depth of the magnitude of the power of this service and how we can truly transform and change our life in so much positive ways. So as you might imagine, each of those experiences, individually and collectively, have been enlightening, enriching, transformational, and life-changing. I'm far much a different person than I believe I would have ever been had I not been consistently participating in the White Stone. And the purpose of this White Stone is to seek a fuller expression of our divine nature. Consciously listen to the voice of spirit within and to start living experiences from your divine self outward. That's what this White Stone ceremony is so important. We live from the inner. Go within or go without. So given my appreciation and deep respect for this ceremony, I thought about naming the talk title, Something Wonderful is About to Happen. But I can't imagine what everybody would be thinking about, and I don't know if it would be about white stones, but anyway. So I'll try to accelerate here and let you know that the ceremony, if many of you may already know, that comes from Revelation, book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 17, and it reads, "Let anyone who has an ear listen to what the Spirit is saying to the churches. To everyone who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will also give a white stone. And on the white stone is a written new name that no one knows except the one that receives it." I found it interesting that historically in the time of Jesus, it was believed that the people who had overcome had made their connections with the divine, they got a new name. It was a new nature. Probably most popular is Saul to Paul. Saul was working on destroying the Christians at the time. He was blinded for 3 days, and he became enlightened. He could see, he began helping the Christians, and it contributed greatly to the development of the movement. So Saul, metaphysically, means personal will. By contrast, Paul means enlightened will. I have occasionally come to understand the distinction. Unity views the Bible as the unfolding, a story of the unfolding of the soul or our consciousness. Unity translates the Bible metaphysically, which examines the fundamental nature of reality beyond the physical realm. Unity metaphysics is based on the recognition of divine ideas, which is Christ, as the fundamental eternal truth that underlines and transcends all physical manifestations. Let's do a very brief metaphysical interpretation of this passage in Revelation 2:17. Let anyone who has an ear listen. In the book of Revealing Word, written by Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore, he states that ears represent the receptivity of mind. The ear is not referring to our outer ears, but it's referring to the ear of the soul, which is within each and every one of us. This refers to the ear that hears that still small voice as it whispers to us. And we develop this inner listening quality by getting out of our head, going in our intellect, and connecting with our heart through prayer and meditation. As a side note, I've always found it interesting that the word ear is smack dab in the middle of the word heart. So listen with my heart. Listen in common terms means to give attention in order to hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. Though metaphysically, Spirit is God as the moving force in the universe. The church is derived from a Greek word meaning the Lord's house, the individual's consciousness in his Lord's house. And assembled within it are groups of ideas or thought centers. So the spiritualized will carries to the different, they call churches, right, or thought centers within us, the word of truth, absolute truth. It builds them up into a knowledge of their divinity by training them in spiritual thinking. That's how we get out of the mud. Training ourselves in spiritual thinking. So the first part of the verse tells us to listen. That's the first activity. Develop the ear of the soul, to cultivate our awareness of our I am, and to sit in the silence and listen to Spirit. And then the second activity is, and the Bible verse says, to everyone who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna. To all who see beyond appearances, I will give all that is needed to live. That's the first promise. So the first two activities are to listen and to conquer, where the word conquer really is not like an outer war, but more significantly as an inner overcoming, right? As we do not let those thoughts that we worry about how to rule our life control our mind. The first promise is, so anyway, this conquer is one who conquers mastery over sense consciousness. Sense consciousness is referred to as our ego, basically. So when we conquer as followers of Spirit, that requires surrender. Surrender our ego to our true essence. For us to be in the world, but not of the world. And yet, how many times have we not surrendered to that sweet spirit that calls us in every single moment? I heard a voice within. No, that's all right. I'll get to it next week. I'm not so sure that's what was said, so I'll just ignore it. But what a paradox. Only in surrender is the victory. Not an outer surrender or an outer victory, but an inner surrender and an inner victory of letting go and letting God be God in and through us. Now we move to manna, the hidden manna. I would have gotten some, but I couldn't find it. No, that's me. Bad. All right. Manna in the Bible refers to the substance miraculously supplied as food to the Israelites in the wilderness. In the days of wandering in the wilderness with Moses, the people had only go and collect the manna that was God sent down each day. They couldn't store it up. They did not have anything else to eat. So when we surrender to Spirit, then the promise is fulfilled, and we are given hidden manna that is not visible to the world. Metaphysically, this hidden manna is the bread of life. It represents the realization that the divine substance is everywhere present, in every part of consciousness. We are given an entirely new source of energy and nourishment each and every day through Spirit. This hidden manna is derived from these higher levels of being within us. It nourishes the soul first, then the body. It benefits the whole being. And in the gospel, Jesus alludes to the very thing when he says to his disciples, I have food to eat that you do not know about. This hidden manna is the vital substance and energy of Spirit directly assimilated into our being. The second part of the promise is, and I will give you a white stone. And on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. This is a time when it was believed that the people had overcome and had made their connections with the divine. They got a new name. That new name was written on the white stone. The name was given to them directly by God. No one else intervened. No one else was aware of the new name. It was new nature, the freedom from bondage, our bondage that we give to ourselves. When people had overcome, they were set free from their bondage and they received that stone. The change in name always signifies a change in consciousness. In biblical times, a name was a very sacred thing. Every name represented a quality. Every name in the Bible actually means a quality that was in the person who carries the name. In those times, you didn't choose a name for a child because you liked the name. You chose it for whatever essence you saw in the child. White, as in the white stone, metaphysically represents joy, a divine idea we recently celebrated. It also represents victory and purification. In this white stone, or purified state of consciousness, we know that God and we are one. In this white stone consciousness, we remember what God said to Moses, I am who I am. And in this higher white stone consciousness, or Christ consciousness, within ourselves, we learn our new name, an entirely new realization of our true I am. So we conquer and receive the hidden manna, our full potential, by consciously surrendering, letting go of what no longer serves us, by continuing our spiritual journey of prayer and meditation, and in statements of denial and affirmation, we remember, I am, God is. Let's take a moment now to move into our meditation. Before we begin, I suspect, does everyone have a white stone and a pencil, pen, Sharpie, crayon, whatever may work? That's all set? Thank you, ushers. Everybody all set? And one? Okay, that worked. Thank you very much. I invite you to breathe slowly. Relax. And if you choose, close your eyes. Let the chair support you. I invite you to hold your white stone in your hands and feel the shape and texture of the stone. Does it feel smooth or solid? Do you notice any other characteristics? Perhaps edges? Begin to get comfortable with your new white stone and feel the energy of your new white stone. You have been handed an opportunity for starting with a clean slate. We may be asking the question, what is my name for this year? We know that whenever we ask, there is always an answer. You're welcome to actually invite Spirit to reveal to you and for you a new intention of being to be written on your white stone. And as we surrender and allow Spirit to speak to us in the silence, we make space for unlimited possibilities to become manifest in our lives. Creating a space in our consciousness, we open ourselves to unlimited possibilities, unlimited potential. So I invite you to consciously invite the activity of Spirit, the whole Spirit of God, into your heart and mind for the next few moments. If you sit in silence with Spirit, perhaps there's a new career, a new title, a new quality, a word the Spirit is pressing out through you. Again, I invite you to give your ego a few minutes of rest. This white stone is a promise of a new life. It's a symbol of a clean slate. Whatever was going on in the past, we stop letting it define us. And let that divine holy self in you come through. Give yourself permission to know that you have a new quality, a new name. We have the ability in this moment to live in this new beginning. In this moment, we know that we are free. Anytime you look at your white stone in the future, you have an opportunity to realize that you have the gift of choice, the gift to live differently, to live a more fulfilling life, to begin again, to connect with God. You are a creator. No one in the entire universe knows except you and God what your new name is. It has come to you from that place deep within you to be lived out, to be expressed, to be embodied. That's what Spirit is calling you to do, to be. To whisper from your soul that you are so much more than you have ever let come into expression. As you are guided by Spirit, I invite you to trust in this now moment, this moment of truth. Allow your Spirit to reveal an insight into your divine purpose, an insight into your holy essence. Continue to keep your eyes closed and just be with God as we move into, in a moment, we move into the silence. Allow yourself to simply open to Spirit, to say, God in me reveals my true essence. God in me reveals my next step. God as me lives a joyous, peaceful, fulfilling, abundant life. And now we move into the silence. If the name has come to you, stay quiet and allow yourself to ask for a deeper understanding. To ask if there are any steps you can take in that direction. And if you have a first step, in a moment, you can write that on the back of your stone. Not a whole plan of instructions, just the first step, a couple of words. How would you be the name? Now I invite you, when you're ready, to feel free to open your eyes. If you have the word that word that the still, soft voice of Spirit has revealed to you, feel free to write that word on one side of the stone. And if you don't have that, that's okay. We'll give you another moment. Even if none comes by the end of the service, I'm confident that a new name will appear to you. So now again, I invite you to write your new name on the stone, the white stone. And if you have a word or two of the first step you can take toward being that word. Claim your new name in your hearts now as you return your attention to this place, your stone, and write it on your stone. Behold, the Christ of God in each of us says, I make all things new, for you are my beloved, in whom I am well pleased. I invite you to keep your new white stone in a permanent place so you can be reminded throughout the year. Accept this consciousness of ever increasing good in your life. And if you wish, I invite you to carry this stone as a reminder of that claim, of that goodness, of the greater life. In closing, anytime you look at your white stone, realize that you have the gift of choice, the gift to live differently, to live a more fulfilling life, to begin anew, to connect with God and co-create with God. In 2023, let's consciously open ourselves and create a space in our consciousness for God's activity of goodness to move through us. We conquer and receive by the hidden manna our full potential by consciously surrendering, letting go of what no longer serves us and follow our divine guidance. We can use the tools of Spirit and make a space for unlimited possibilities, unlimited potential in 2023. And at the end of my meditation, I say, for all of us, today, I begin again. Today, I begin again. Amen. Namaste.
Now I invite the ushers to come. This is our opportunity to support this ministry that we love, that loves us in return. So please take out your offerings, your tithes, hold them in your hand, infuse them with love, and let's say together our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Gratitude for me, gratitude I need.
use a moment to bring everything forward. I ask Reverend Tom to accept and bless our offerings.
Bless these offerings, know are given in love, and we are so grateful for it provides the opportunities for us to do the work that is ours to do. And we say, Amen.
Thank you. Announcements for today. In case nobody's heard, we're having a potluck today. So if you can't smell it, you're all absolutely welcome to stay and partake in the feast afterwards. Coming up on Wednesday this week is the drumming circle, the monthly drumming circle. And we can welcome in the new year with a little bit of noise, gratitude, vibrational noise. I just got a new drum, so I can't wait to get started back into drumming. Yes. Okay. Beginning on January 20th, Jackie Ludakis will be leading a new ongoing class. Mindful motion focuses on increasing body awareness using breath work and gentle movement. There's a flyer in the lobby with more information on it, or you can talk to Jackie. The suggested offering for this class is $5 per class. And next Sunday, we invite you to stay after and join in the fun. We're going to undeck the halls and take down all the Christmas decorations. So that's a good project for next week. We kept them up this year a little bit longer than usual so we could enjoy them through our potluck today. The men's group, Greg Foster would like to meet with anybody who's a part of the men's group or would like to be part of the men's group afterwards, just for a few quick minutes if you could get with him. And if you weren't here last week and you happened to miss out on writing a letter to yourself like we do during the Burning Bowl service, we have materials out in the lobby where you can take a piece of paper, something like this, and it says, "My highest intentions for 2023 are." You can write the letter to yourself, sign it, seal it in the envelope, put your address on front, and we will hold it for you and mail it back to you at the end of next year so you can see what you did all year. And that is it for announcements today. Again, I want to remind you to stay and eat, and I hope Reverend Tom will be able to stay and join us today too. We will close. We'll stand and sing the peace song.